Good morning, Vietnam! We're the Slapdash Saboteurs, and we actually do a weekly Hinamatsuri podcast, in case you've forgotten. I'm Eric.
I'm Eric.
I'm Brandon. I thought we were
Brandon, why do you never go along with these things?
I thought
What
we
are
were
we
done
paying
with this
for?
bit.
Why are you even here? It's never
The
gonna
last
end.
time I was Brandon. This time we're all Eric.
It's the same bit.
That's the fun of it, is
Kids
it
change the
evolves and it
names.
changes. It evolves as time goes
Listen,
on.
before
keeps
it was
up with
swapping
times.
people, this time it's being a conglomerate of all Eric.
Yeah, we're all Eric on this blessed day.
You see, you gotta change
They
your
worship
comedy
death.
as your series moves along. Otherwise, all your comedy will be the same.
And you also gotta work on your segues, much like the comedy in Hinamatsuri doesn't segue.
Whoop
I
up.
thought this episode was pretty good, Eric. I think you're just being a hater.
I am being a hater. It was fine. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought these last two episodes, after that one real spin-off in episode 5, have been better.
Right.
But still not nearly as good as the highs of episode 5.
They really figured out what worked in episode 5, and they ran away from that for some reason, but I think they learned some important lessons.
So that episode 15.
Shh.
Yeah. Episode 15.
Yeah,
The
but for real,
disastrous life of Hina.
well, it's probably more of a disastrous life of Anita in
Wasn't
this
it,
situation.
God, what was the stupid name?
Or disastrous life of Nita K or something.
Something like that.
No,
Psyche,
it's
okay,
something
but...
like Psyche, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, these last two episodes have actually been better, though. It's still rough, because I go into them thinking that I won't like them, and they end up being, okay. So,
You find a way to not like them anyway.
well, yeah, because that's just the mindset that I go into it with, and that's not fair to the episodes anymore, but it's still not good, so I don't feel bad about it.
Yeah, but
they're
anime's an
fine.
inanimate object, so you don't have to be fair to it.
Yeah, anime also isn't good, so
Yeah.
it's fine. The more I dislike it, the more I'm socially accepted.
Easy game.
You know it. Side note, sidebar, there's a lot of, Life of Otaku this season. And by a lot, I mean, 2, with 3D Kanojo in that office one. I was looking at the Annie chart the other day again.
I think Life of Otaku's kind of been on the rise for a while, because they're trying to portray otaku not just as doing nothing all day and watching anime, but some of them are in the workforce, so they want to have something they can relate to more. I don't know.
Yeah, that makes
Is that
sense.
kind of the definition of sit around and do nothing else?
No,
that's
that's neat.
Or Hikikomori or something.
Yeah.
No, they don't need to be. Japanese weeps though.
See, but Brennan, hear me out here. I came to the understanding recently that otaku is basically just a nerd in Japanese culture.
It has a very insulting connotation.
Yeah, it does, but it covers a lot of hobbies. I know it has an
It's
insulting
basically
connotation.
Miyazaki's fault.
Yeah.
Not Hayao Miyazaki. But also Hayao Miyazaki does not like otaku.
Right. And speaking of otaku, how about that Nita guy? I mean, come on, pretending to be a Yakuza? It's the 21st century, grow up.
Is it the X?
Well, you
that
couldn't
Nita guy.
tell.
He's
That
had parts in the
episode
last 2
did.
episodes.
You could... He's shown up both of the last 2 episodes. He's really making a reappearance. Wait. But he really doesn't do anything Yakuza related.
Yeah, I mean, most of the Yakuza stuff's been cut out. Like this episode, the whole part where he's complaining to his boss about her running for president, or class president, doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because, the old guy is obsessed with Nita, but...
Right? They skipped
Hina, but we haven't seen that build up, in the manga.
they skipped the fishing episode. That one was pretty crucial. It's just because they're cutting out Nita in general. They're cutting out the Yakuza part of the show and focusing on Anzu and Hitomi so much that you don't get those juicy Yakuza bits and you don't get that fun grandfather feel.
Yeah, I mean, none of the Yakuza members are characters, except for, obviously, Nita and his sidekick, who just is, a quip one-liner character.
Yeah.
Whereas in the manga, they were characters, and we understood that there was the middle-aged guy who was, trying to be boss because the old guy's about to retire and stuff.
Right.
It was something to understand. The old guy wants to be, a grandfather to Hina and stuff, but here, there's nothing.
And even then, the side character in the show is just there so that Nita doesn't look pathetic going out to eat alone, which is a real struggle.
Yeah.
Living alone, that's a real struggle.
Yep.
Oh boy. You gotta get takeout. Anyway. Yeah, I'm really missing that Yakuza part of the show. And they showed up here, and those are some good goofs. The lawyer showing up, that was a good goof.
Yeah. The
I
reading
do
the
not
speech was
remember
alright.
that part, and I saw it the lawyer
Hey-
said. I saw it an hour
Brandon,
ago.
if you're not even gonna watch the 2 episodes before this one, maybe pay a little attention.
I was told to watch episode 7, and that is what I
At least
did.
remember episode 7.
We're supposed to be experts. We are the shining beacons of hope that all of these Hinamatsuri fans look to and then quickly look away from because they like the show.
Yeah.
I don't think they looked to us in the first place.
Yeah, well, they did. They did for the first episode, and then figured out that we were disappointed.
No, we were just disappointing ourselves.
Yo, can I talk about how the episode before this one was a big Anzu part, and then this episode continues that with a big Anzu part? This show has made me not like Anzu.
It's really, really sad, but I'm the same way.
She's just boring. She doesn't do anything.
Yeah, her whole character's like, oh my god, there's money here now.
Like, the only thing that was funny, I thought, in this part was, and it wasn't even that funny, but just because, like, I appreciated that there's, like, some word jokes going on and stuff, was when she, like, insults Nita 2 times without meaning to.
Right, yeah.
I kind of thought that was funny, because it was just a quick little joke, him in the background being like, Are you insulting me?
Yeah. But, like, they were going for the feels again with these 2 Anzu bits. I think we can all agree that the second half of the episode was the strong one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I don't know, I'm just also disappointed with Anzu's character here.
I think it relates back to one thing I thought of back when we were doing not episodes of this, is that, like, they're trying to make Hitomi, Anzu, and Hina the main characters instead of Nita and Hina.
Yeah.
Did I say Nita? I meant Hina before, but anyways, instead of the 2, like, straight man, funny man combo, it's a bunch of straight men being sad is the show, and it's a slice of life instead of comedy. That's just how the anime is.
That's actually such a beautiful tagline. It's Hinamatsuri, straight men being sad. I love that.
I don't love it, because I don't want it.
But yeah, they're not letting the characters age and ferment and ripen to their beautiful, delicious, hearty...
This makes me imagine if, like, Gintama had, like, a long section, say, like, a season and a half, where it's just serious arcs in a row. That would really suck. I'm really glad that never happens. I'm glad that doesn't happen. I'm so glad the Ragugu Decisive Battle arc doesn't exist. Oh.
Side note, I am totally swamped in Hard-Boiled Detective. There's no way I'm getting through that.
It's only 2 episodes.
Because I paused halfway through the first episode.
Okay, so here's the thing. I wasn't sure what was going to happen. A lot of people love that episode. My least favorite episode, non-including late stuff by far. The second episode's way better, but it's a hard arc.
And you know what I love so much about Gintama is that they're not afraid to have, like... Well, that doesn't make much sense, never mind. You know what I love so much about Gintama? Is that they have funny jokes and funny character interactions.
Yeah, and then when you get to the serious stuff, it's harder because you've been through the funny stuff.
Yeah.
So you want to care about the character's serious stuff because you're like, oh, this is a turn, it's a twist, there's something happening, changes are occurring.
They didn't give Anzu any funny stuff, they've just given her serious stuff, and it's a real shame.
I like how we're comparing an anime I haven't seen to an anime I've barely seen.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are just talking about arcs of Gintama, like, what the fuck are they talking about?
I'm sorry, I've just been trying really hard lately to think of, like, to compare Hinamatsuri to comedy anime, and also thinking really hard about what comedy anime means to me, since I threw out that Hinamatsuri is supposed to be a comedy a lot, and I realized that you don't see a lot of pure comedy anime the same way that you see it in manga, because it's just an easier format for manga with how we've talked about quick jokes being easier and being able to control the pace, making comedy more entertaining. Because, like, in terms of straight comedy shows, I couldn't think of many. There's, like, Konosuba, there's Psyche K, and I got kind of stuck there.
Is Konosuba really a pure comedy anime?
I think so. Like, I don't think...
It's more of just a parody on Isekai.
Well, see, but that's why there's so much content. Like, it's a parody of anime, which is why I think it can do so much more than, like, something more original.
Yeah,
because,
I mean, all the plot-related stuff in that doesn't even matter, too. So.
Yeah. Like, that's the main thing I'm talking about, is when comedy is... The focus is just making funny jokes and not anything with the characters or the plot, is what I mean when I say comedy there.
I don't know. Hinamatsuri does not seem very original. It really seems like it's just a copy of Zatspel.
Excuse me?
Think about it. Psychic kids falling from the sky and then fighting once. It's a complete copy of Zatspel.
Wow. Now we're just talking about a, German hymn that I've never heard of.
You remember? No, Zatspel is a shonen anime from, let me look it up, a while ago.
Wow.
90s.
Sources are coming in. Yes, they're saying, yes, it was a while ago.
2003.
That was 15 years ago. That is a while. That's a fun time.
We weren't even born then. Hitler hadn't even conquered Germany then.
America was...
Like Hitler conquered Germany.
Yeah, remember when Hitler was in Poland and he invaded Germany, and therefore the UK declared war on him?
I mean, it was a pretty big deal when Hitler united the Germanic tribes into one conglomerate.
Yeah, when he unified the German states into the German Empire.
Yeah, and then he invaded
And it
Israel
was all because
and
the
killed
Bat
Jesus.
told him to? Billy Bat?
Damn that Billy Bat. What a
That Billy
homicidal
Bat
villain.
Making Hitler and Einstein not time travel.
God, this has gotten really off track.
Yeah, but that was a really funny joke back when it happened.
Yeah.
Killing Einstein. Yeah, it's gotten really off track, but like...
We don't want to
funny
dissect the
jokes.
episode. There's not a whole lot to
Right.
dissect. There's
I mean,
some
like,
more funny jokes in the past. That's kind of...
I guess my point
dissection.
I guess the point that I wanted to get at with my comedy bit back there was that, like, it's hard to do comedy right in anime, and I guess they tried to veer into dramatic elements to bridge that gap between manga and anime, and they just haven't... There's not the time built in from just... They're following the content from the manga really closely, and that doesn't give time for dramatic elements to build in characters, especially if they're cutting parts out with Yakuza. They're just jumping into drama before they can get away with it, and it's not funny enough.
Skipping parts
They're
really
just not
following
earning
it
it.
closely.
I mean, so they're
Well,
skipping
the
parts.
scene for scene is really close. The arc isn't, type thing.
Yeah.
So
Like,
they
they-
say the exact same lines and do the exact same things, just you skip the parts in between that make it make sense.
Right. And then it's paced differently so you don't get the same level of comedy.
Was it on like some animemes or anime IRL or something? I saw like a scene from the manga that was posted, and it was 3 panels, and it's like after the time skip, and there are 2 characters talking, and one's like, "Oh, I have a bunch of kids, and I got a 4th on the way," and everyone just looks at her and is like, "God, how often do they shag?" And that's the whole joke, and it's funny when you read it. Not when it's described. When you read it, it's funny. It's 3 panels. I guarantee if that was in the anime, that would be like a minute long. And I'm like, that's the problem.
Yeah. Anime drags on. You gotta milk those sweet, sweet still frames for as long as you can.
There's a lot of milking still frames in the last episode too, and you just see the awful line work on their faces. I'm like,
Yeah. Another instance of not being impressed by Feel's illustration work.
You need to lay off a feel. You're gonna feel that, Eric.
I don't think we do need to lay off a Feel. I don't think they've earned that.
They have made many classics of the anime industry that'll be remembered for years to come, Eric.
Yeah. As
one
the
of Brandon's classic
incest
bits where he
lovers.
talks about Field's past work of stuff.
Yeah. Come on. I thought you were against this. I thought...
Incest is wincest, Eric.
Alright, you have argued against me on this fact many times.
I disagree.
And now I have proof in audio.
So you're saying that you like Orimo's ending where they get married?
Okay, that's a whole different bag of clams.
Yeah.
Those
Fucking
clams are
Kuro
smelly.
Neko got done dirty.
Done
That was
dirty.
awful.
Oh boy.
We could have held him to point, Eric, but you back down.
I'm sorry, but I can't allow that, Scott. Kuroneko is the clear one there.
You didn't have to agree with that. You just had to get him to prove that he was weak.
Okay, that's fair. That would have been good. We got.
Then you're going back on your ideals.
Hey, Brandon, incest is wincest. I can't believe you don't think that the sister was the best choice in Arimo.
Oh, you did?
You freak! Nope. That's wrong and incorrect.
It's
It is the
late.
incorrect choice.
Let's move on.
I can't do it, Scott. I can't do it.
Alright.
Not even for the sake of me, funny man Eric, can't even make this one joke because it goes against my morals.
Can we talk about the final joke where Nita, basically, the date goes really bad. He just comes back with a hand puppet.
Oh yeah,
and
that was pretty fun.
pretends to be her step.
That was real good.
That was hilarious.
That was real good.
Episode.
Also, I noticed that was like the first time I've noticed that the voice acting has actually mattered.
Right?
Because I feel like Hina, the voice acting's ruined her character. She's not aloof. She's just like a little baby girl
Yeah.
that you're supposed to like as a daughter.
And the
Whereas
rest of
that
them
was
talk
like
the
a
same.
funny voice acting moment.
The rest of them talk the same the whole time, so you don't get any comedy out of that. They haven't done anything with voice acting before, and yeah, then
The only other voice acting thing I noticed was this episode. Friggin' Hitomi sounded like she was trying to be Kana Hanazawa. And I like legitimately looked it up. It wasn't Kana Hanazawa. And, like I was really confused.
Did they-
Like this episode, she sounded super like she was Kana Hanazawa, even though it wasn't her.
Did they bring her on as a guest for one episode? Is this the Hitomi Gets Sick episode?
Who does Kana Hanazawa play in Monogatari?
Nadeko.
And who the hell knows Japanese voice actress names?
Everyone knows Kanazawa. She's
Yeah.
Nadeko. She's what's her face from or everything.
Yeah, she's definitely the one that you would
She's
know.
probably like Kuroneko or something. I wouldn't be surprised.
Probably. She's
I really hope
Let me look it up.
a very, very proliferate voice actress.
Kanazawa Kuroneko showed up.
Yep, okay. Well,
Wait, is she
She
actually?
is.
nice. I mean, if you name a female lead, it's probably her. Like,
Yep, she was Kuroneko in
Oh, yeah, my knowledge is strong.
and Scott continues to be anime extraordinaire.
Well, now that Holden doesn't do anything, I gotta pretend.
I mean, he still forces middle schoolers and high schoolers to hate reading.
Well, she's actually like
But I'm
every
chuffed.
main heroine in anime.
She
Yeah,
really
she
is. Yeah. Super popular. I also didn't think about it until recently about how small voice acting pools are, especially for dubs.
Well, yeah, there's like 5, and 3 of them suck.
Yeah.
God, who's the one you hated, Scott?
Bryce Pappenbrook. Oh, literally all he's good for is being Kirito from SAO. He sounds like a whiny little annoying jerk. And like that's what Kirito's supposed to sound like.
Hallelujah.
And that's what he sounds like in every role though. Like, please stop.
I leveled up my dexterity to 75, so now my backstab does 3.4% additional damage, and oh, why'd you touch me on my shoulder?
No, that wasn't quite whiny enough.
Oh, fuck.
He was Emiya in Fate Stay.
Oh god.
Alright.
That
So-
explains why I didn't like the dub.
Why does he keep popping up in bad shows?
He was Eren Yeager in
I
Attack
knew
on
that.
Titan.
That
Oh.
dub cast was so solid until they announced that, and that was the last announcement. I was like, well, I want it.
He was
so
Zeppeli.
close.
Oh, he's Caesar Zeppeli, specifically.
Wow. The good
Speaking of good, no wait, that transition didn't work. But speaking of voice actors, I love that Sugita is Joseph and Gintoki.
Oh, yeah. A consistent best man kind of voice actor.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And
What
Kyon
else?
somehow.
Jonathan Denwa. What actually happened in this episode besides the last bit where he's trying to get laid with Utako?
Anzu started
There was-
work. Nita got Hina to get her... Wait, Anzu started work. Hina ran for class pres, and then Nita went on a date with the bar lady.
The starting work part was a bit confusing, not seeing the prior 2 episodes.
Oh yeah, she got like the homeless people get kicked
Yeah.
out of the park, and she got adopted. That was arranged by Umiko or whatever her face is.
She became double homeless, so some lovely Chinese restaurateurs took her in.
But that was a bit... I kind of figured out something happened, but I'm like, wait, does he like just get a job here? Or...
Okay, episode starts out. Anzu wakes up in a house and starts work. I think something happened. I think something
Why
feels
does the homeless
different
girl
here.
have a home now?
Something's a little definitionally off about this homeless girl having a home. Yeah, I mean, there were some good jokes. That mom puppet thing at the end was good. The lawyer coming in was really good in my mind. It
I
was
still
better.
don't. I don't think that part happened.
Yeah, I don't know.
There was no lawyer.
It's just the show's gonna have to spice things up for me to get excited about it again, and it's not popping.
Did,
I'm really
did
wondering
anyone
where
get?
it's gonna end.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Did anyone get the joke in the student council about so when Hitomi's there, if that's your name, I think that's your name, and then they just keep calling her Nita, and then right after that they make sure she knows that they're not Nita, or that she's not.
Oh, it only
Nita.
happened.
So why did he keep? So why did they start calling?
They
her
didn't.
Nita?
They didn't.
Yeah,
It
they
only
did.
happened once. No, at the end
It
they.
happened like 4 times.
At the end they call her by her right name.
Yeah, I know, but why did he do that in the first place? Was that supposed to be like a joke, or?
The idea was that she got brought into student council because Hina never came, and she got dragged there by someone else as like black. No, that's to fill in.
Yeah, so I think the class president thought that this was Hina and that she just hadn't shown up before.
Yeah.
And
Then
then
why'd
she,
you figure it out immediately?
I think
after?
like
Figure it
in between scenes, she says that she's not her. That's what's
Yeah.
implied, and it's
That's
not
just
like
dumb.
a joke. It just is. It's like I don't
Thankfully,
know.
because of object permanence, the characters continue to exist even when they're not in the frame.
Why couldn't they just say, I'm not Hina, in like a
She did.
2-second scene?
She did say that. What do you mean?
No, she didn't?
Yeah,
What?
she did. She said, "I'm not." She said, "It's her last name." Is what she said specifically, and I quote, "It's my last name."
Okay,
And
we'll
then,
go with that.
and then in the next
I
scene,
don't
they
think
call her
that's
the
a
right
quote.
thing.
See, this ultimately was a great joke because we're laughing about it now.
I think it just means that we're the ultimate jokesters and Studio Feel should hire us.
Exactly.
Maybe it just means that we should write our own manga. Now that you guys are apparently both pro illustrators.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Is that just a fan fiction?
What?
Fan fiction.
If we write our own manga?
Brandon, you want to get on reading
No.
a fan fiction? I got fan fiction.
No. No, fuck your fan fiction.
Alright, Brandon. It's almost like you don't want to
We're
read
not
a
blood
fanfic.
brothers, set up.
I'm starting to think that you don't want to be a blood brother or read this fanfiction.
You're right.
On that sour note, I think we're out of stuff.
Yeah, it does seem like it.
Cool. Hey, this has been the Slapdash Saboteurs. We're back to our regular Hinamatsuri weekly casts, I think.
Yeah.
I'm Eric.
Don't do it.
I'm
Don't
Scott.
do it.
Damn
And
it.
I'm Brandon.
And I'm Brandon.
And I'm
No.
Brandon.
And we're adapting and learning to change our comedy as the show goes on.
Yeah, see, we have a serious part in the 12th episode. 'Cause
Yeah.
we've earned it.
In the 12th episode, you'll figure out that Brandon's actually being chased down by CIA operative Engo Prat, and we need to save him and run away to Cuba. And that's the plot of the Hinamatsuri Weekly Cast. Spoilers.
Why would we go to Cuba?
They have cigars there, and you have a crippling addiction in this fiction. It's fine, it's fiction.
Oh, okay.
Hey, goodbye, everybody.